So Moses met up with his brother Aaron and filled him in on their mission to liberate the people of Israel from slavery. Then the two of them returned to Egypt and got the elders of Israel on board with the plan by performing some miracles in front of them. And then they came before the Pharaoh. "Hey, new Pharaoh, remember me? We used to be family, till I killed that guy and ran away." What? I don't know what I just said. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do the talking, bro. Thank you. "Hail, your majesty. We, your servants, humbly request that you allow our Hebrew brethren a 3 days venture into the wilderness, in order that we may hold a festival to the Lord our God." No. Hey, taskmasters?
Yes, your majesty?
Apparently, the Hebrews have so much time on their hands that they can afford to take 3 days off from work. So there's no need for you to provide them with straw to make bricks. According to Aaron and Moses here, they should have more than enough time to collect it themselves while keeping to their daily quotas.
It will be done, your holiness.
Anything else? Aaron, try that staff thing I did before. Huh, good idea. "Behold, the power of the Lord." That one's a lot bigger than before. I guess my staff's a grower, not a shower. Oh, we'll see who have the biggest staffs. Sorcerers? Yes, your majesty. Ha! That'll be the last time you underestimate the size of my brother's staff. Oh, you were making dick jokes. This is why I do the talking, Moses. And so the Israelites had to continue toiling under the Pharaoh's rule. Way to go, Aaron and Moses. You said you'd convince the Pharaoh to let us go, but all you've done is make a stink in his eyes. And also in his nose. We haven't had time to bathe in like 2 weeks. Worry not, brethren. This is all according to the Lord's plan. Hey, Moses, what's the Lord's plan? Well, the Pharaoh should be showing up here around... Ah, there he is now. All right, you're gonna go up to the riverbank and... Okay, and then Horace puts it in the salad, right? Oh my raw, no way. No, for real, for real. "Behold!" Oh boy, these clowns again. "By this you shall know the name of the Lord in all caps." Ah, geez. Will this have a negative economic impact? Yeah. A simple parlor trick, your holiness. Any sorcerer worth their salt can turn water to blood with their eyes closed. See? Okay, but can you turn all this blood back into water now? We'll get back to you. Hey, that was pretty cool. The Lord's badass. See, my brothers, by the mighty hand of the Lord our God, we'll be liberated in no time. Right, Moses? Right, Moses? Right, Moses? Right. Okay, these Hebrews and their "the Lord" are starting to piss me off. Be troubled no longer, sire. Watch and be amazed by our superior powers. What the hell, guys? You said to make a frog spell. Yeah, to get rid of the frogs, not make more. Oh, wow, that's our bad. We totally misunderstood the project. Your Majesty, Aaron and Moses have arrived. Behold, the Lord has plagued your borders with frogs, for you have not humbled yourself before. Yeah, enough theatrics. How about we just make a deal? Yes, please, I just want this to be over. Tell you what, you have the Lord get rid of these frogs, and I'll let the Hebrews have their 3-day weekend. Done deal. You heard him, God. Ha, idiot, you just gave away all your leverage. Now I have no reason to let your people go. But that's not what you promised. Yeah, I employed an advanced political tactic called lying. Man, you do suck at negotiation. Way to go, Mo. Listen, your pharaohness, you gotta understand that the longer this goes on, the worse it's gonna get for you and your people. Our God is not messing around. I think I can handle your God if he's half as easy to fool as you are. So by all means, show me what you got, the Lord. Damn, the Lord's got strong hands. Hands full of lice and flies and ow! Dermatologic conditions. Sorcerers, have you devised a cure for this latest plague yet? Well, just to be clear, do you want more boils or fewer boils? I want 0 boils. Damn. Okay, back to the drawing board then. Is the economy holding up at least? Hey, I don't know if this is a bad time, but apparently everyone's livestock dropped dead last night. I hate to admit it, but perhaps my pride has led me astray. The might of the Lord is undeniable, and the only way out of this mess might just be to let his people go. Actually, fuck all that. I don't care what you throw at me, the Lord, I'll never let your people go. So, I enjoy seeing our oppressors face the wrath of the Almighty as much as the next guy, but the elders are wondering how long this is supposed to go for. It'll go until God decides he's shown enough of his signs and wonders. If the Pharaoh comes to his senses before then, God'll just harden his heart so that he'll keep doing what he really wants. Well, that raises some questions about free will that I don't feel like grappling with right now. I'll think of something more shallow and feel-good to tell the masses. You're a natural-born leader, Aaron. Hail, I bring a message from His Majesty the Pharaoh. It says, eat shit. Figures. Tell him the locusts will leave if he changes his mind. Locusts? What locusts? Hello? Just the man I was looking for. Ugh. Yeah, I had to get dressed in the dark this morning. Thanks for that. Oh, well, actually, I think this look kind of works. This is why I called for you specifically, Moses. You can't bullshit me to save your life. Now, let's see if we can meet in the middle somewhere. I already know how this will end, but given what'll happen next, I know I have to at least try and get through to you. How about you Hebrews have your little holiday here in Egypt? That's not gonna work, cause, well, what do you think the locals will do when they see a bunch of foreigners sacrificing to another god? We won't make good slaves if all of us get stoned to death. Wait, exactly how many of you are supposed to go on this trip? You know, the young and old, the men and women, everyone? Everyone! I'm getting the feeling this is more than a 3-day trip you're planning. New deal. You can all go, but you have to leave your livestock here for when you return. Well, like I just said, we're gonna be sacrificing to the Lord, but he hasn't yet told us exactly which animals we're supposed to... And who exactly is the Lord to you? What makes him more important to worship than the great gods of Egypt? The great gods of Egypt? Yeah, Egypt is the most powerful nation on Earth because we have the most powerful gods. Like who? Like Happy, god of the Nile. Did he get rid of all that blood from the first plague? Well, there's also Isis. Right, because she's done a great job protecting you from pestilence and famine these past few weeks. We have Ra, the almighty god of the sun. Oh yeah, look how great Ra's doing right now. How do you not get by now that you're up against someone greater than all your little statues? Someone who controls everything in nature, from the sun and moon to your own will. The whole point of all these signs and wonders has been to make this fact as clear as possible, and they won't end until you get that message through your skull! Well, I'm disappointed this discussion wasn't more productive. The next time you come back here, you'll have to take your issues up with my headsman. Don't worry, I won't be bothering you again. And then Moses warned Israel of one final plague upon Egypt. At evening, each household sacrificed a lamb and smeared its blood on their lintel and doorposts. That night the Lord went through Egypt, and he passed over all homes on which he saw the blood of sacrifice. But in each household that did not make a Passover sacrifice, he killed every firstborn. From the firstborn of the Pharaoh to the firstborn of the prisoner in the dungeon and the firstborn of the livestock. And there was a great cry throughout Egypt, such as there had not been nor will be ever after. And that night the Pharaoh called Aaron and Moses to him and said, "You can go. Take your men, women, children, and elderly, and all your livestock and worship the Lord in the wilderness. It's time for you to exit us." And so all of the Israelites marched out of Egypt, but not before borrowing a bunch of jewelry from their neighbors. Let's just consider it reparations. And God led his people out of the land inside a pillar of cloud. Hey, good job, Moses. I'm just glad this is almost over. I figure from here we just head straight east. Oh, no. If the Philistines try and pick a fight, everyone will just get scared back to Egypt. So instead, you're gonna head southeast and camp at the sea near Pi-Hahiroth. I've got a little something planned for us there. What do you mean by that? You'll see. What do you mean by that? Meanwhile, back in Egypt, God once again hardened the hearts of the Pharaoh and his servants, and the Pharaoh mustered 600 chariots to go after his slaves. Meanwhile, the Israelites soon arrived at the coast of the Red Sea. And when they saw the Pharaoh's army approaching, they all fell into a panic. We're trapped! There's nowhere to go!
We're screwed! Whose idea was this?
Now, people, calm down. Did the Lord have to take us out here because there weren't enough graves in Egypt? We didn't even want to leave.
Yeah.
We liked being slaves.
What kind of God screws up
We're all
this
gonna
fast?
die.
This was all for nothing. Wow, you guys are right. This all must have been for nothing. I got tossed into a river as a baby, spent the first half of my life in a palace and the other half herding sheep, then got dragged all the way back here for nothing. An all-powerful being chose us, some slaves in a foreign land, to be his people for nothing. And then he brought the greatest nation on earth to its knees 10 times over for nothing. Don't you people get it? Those signs and wonders weren't just for the Egyptians. They were to show all of us that we're meant for something greater than any person or nation. And our story won't be ending here. If you couldn't tell that from the start, then you're just as blind as the Pharaoh. Hey, look who's finally starting to get it. Now, if you're feeling up to the job, it's time to perform one more sign/wonder. The pillar of cloud then moved behind the Israelites, preventing the Egyptians from pursuing further. And Moses raised his arms to the sea, and the Lord parted the waters so that the Israelites could cross straight through, walking on dry land with walls of water to their right and left. Then the Egyptians were allowed through, and they drove after the Israelites into the sea. But God broke their chariots and sent them into a panic. And once the Israelites had all moseyed safely to the other side, Moses again stretched out his hands, and the waters returned, drowning the Egyptians. Was that a good enough sign for you? More than enough. I will not doubt your divine will again. Yes, you will. Yeah, I will. I kind of hate being a prophet. Yeah, but you're good at it when it counts. Touché. Anyway, with all that business behind us, it should be, what, a couple weeks from here to the Promised Land? In theory. What do you mean by that? What do you mean?